would be nice.
There's your Noto.
Ding. Like now we've got an abundance of lighters.
Because I'd gotten two, and I had brought one out because I had gone shopping and brought smokes.
Good. We've got extra dodextra lighters hanging around now.
This one we should not leave outside.
Oh yeah, that's one of the... Well, I mean, it's not going to get hot enough to... In the summer, though, it'll pop and hiss. Paul, make harvest over, please. How long is harvest of soybeans? Sternati Priest is dick deep in soybeans, and he's sick of it. He's mentioned it a bunch now. He wants the soybean harvest to be done. So who do I gotta call?
I don't know. We're not helping because we're buying all the soy.
Yeah, I mean, you're helping us. We're eating a lot of soy.
Not soy milk, though. Soy milk is kind of gross.
Yeah, I'm not.
After that oat milk incident, I don't even want to touch fucking oat milk for a while.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Soybeans are over. We are on corn now. Oh. Alright, well. At least the soybeans are over. At least you're not dick deep in the soy.
Corn kind of smells.
Just don't run backwards through the cornfield, huh? You know what I mean?
There has to have been a porno filmed in the fucking cornfields.
Oh,
Probably
for sure.
multiple.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a good spot for one, I would think. You know, clear a little clearing in there, have a little cornfield booty blast, grab a cob, implement. You know what I mean? Oh, dude, Andrew, I did some writing. I think it. Dude, I did some writing today. I did a little bit of writing.
You just gotta work on the flow you want to hit.
I don't know, man. It's a different kind of flow. It's definitely like a more modern, repetitive flow, but I kind of like it. I'm gonna try and lay it down this weekend. Send you a little rough cut. I've just been struggling with that song that he sent me. It's a dope beat. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. Excuse me. Drake or Diddy? Dude, can I go neither on that? I'm not a big fan of either.
Did you never get the Diddy hype when he was hype?
Yeah, I mean, Diddy was kind of East Coast, and I was kind of steeped in the West Coast then. And Diddy was bad boy from the East Coast. And so I was never a big fan of his anyway. Until, I didn't really start listening to more East Coast rap until my 20s. And then I didn't, he was like, I don't know, he was a sideshow guy for me. Biggie was like leading the field there in Wu-Tang. So.
You didn't, your heart wasn't broken with the fucking.
No, I don't give a fuck. I don't have anything particularly against Diddy. Like, I don't hate him like some other, like, in terms of, like, I don't think he was the most annoying artist in the world. But, yeah.
When the shit came out, you're just like, eh.
I mean, he did some songs with Biggie.
Yeah.
And those songs were pretty good. A couple of songs I remember he was on with Biggie. But his stuff, not my thing. Gonna be a long night for the mods. Seems like it. Seems like every night is about to be a long night for the mods, unfortunately. Until I change the format. If I change the format. You got some oil. Good for you, but yeah, I don't think think P. Diddy is, I mean, he's popular, obviously. Had his hands in a lot of people's careers. He's more of a producer and like a fucking label owner. Like his contribution to the rap scene is way more on that end. There's a lot of people that have been filtered through Diddy. And that's kind of why it's such a big deal. That's why people are so interested in this upcoming trial, which I hate to tell them, but it might be a year or more before Diddy even sees the inside of a courtroom because of all the legal jockeying and shit. The only thing that's really pushing the impetus is they've decided to lock his ass up in a horrible place. And Diddy, you know, being a soft motherfucker that has been living.
Push for a speedy trial.
Oh, he's been rich since the early '90s, so he don't even remember what it's like to suffer like this.
If there's anything I've learned is that the legal process is slow.
Yeah. No, it really is. It's painfully slow. It's one of the honest problems with our legal process, because a fair and expedient trial is part of, you know, our enumerated rights.
Yeah, I think they normally just like ask people to waive it. Most people do.
Well, yeah, because their lawyers will tell them like it's in your best interests to put this off for as long as possible and let the fucking DA decide if they really want to push it.
Yeah.
It's hilarious to imagine him eating prison food and mopping floors. Yeah. Well, I remember a couple of weeks ago, the word was he was on a hunger strike in there. I haven't heard anything about it since, so maybe that hunger strike is over. He probably just ate the bologna, you know. Eventually, you're just going to eat the bologna. I mean, you don't.
It's already scheduled.
What?
The trial.
Oh, is it?
For May 5th.
Then he wants out. It worked.
Yeah.
He wants his hearing. Saw the Apprentice clip of Trump that aged like milk, with Trump insisting, "Trust me, Diddy is a good guy. He's a good guy." Dude, there are so many of those from so many big names, news people, talk show hosts, late night hosts. Everybody loved Diddy.
Yeah, like saying Trump liked him too.
Yeah, it's just like, if Trump was the only guy and everybody else was like, Diddy's whack, but Trump was like, nah, Diddy's good, then that would be one thing. But it's like, you ain't got to dig very far in the fucking annals of fame and shit to find people partying with Diddy, taking pictures with Diddy, having Diddy on their show. You know what I mean? There's a ton of people that have been doing it.
Like,
so
he's way higher profile than fucking Epstein.
Yeah. This was his clientele were way more rank and file famous people.
Yeah.
People that like are seen in public quite a bit and are known in public. Diddy was having those types of people, big media moguls, industry titans, basketball players. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. He was spreading a lot of money around with those parties, and his parties, like those types of exclusive events where, you know, like Diddy had a party called the White Party, which I only know about because celebrities never stop talking about it. It's like the biggest party of the year, big fancy schmancy event. You're supposed to wear all white to it, the whole nine. And, you know, going to that's like a networking dream. Imagine how many people have gotten music contracts, movie deals, you know, offers for a pilot for a show. You know what I mean? Like getting in that room it's like, those are the movers and shakers of Hollywood, the music industry, art, entertainment, all of that shit, right? Unbelievable. But because of that magnetic draw, pretty much everybody that's got some fame on them has some Diddy on them too. So, you know, what are you gonna do? I mean, real fame, not internet fame, obviously. But even some internet famous motherfuckers got a bunch of Diddy all over them. Jail and prison conditions are inhumane. I'm not soft on crime, but there needs to be a baseline of compassion and humanity for all people. Yeah. I mean, that seems fair to me. I'm not all that convinced that the type of incarceration that we use serves any function other than basically just like legalized slavery. The ability to lock up a bunch of poor people and force them to work for basically nothing. That's my definition of slavery. So. I don't think anybody that has committed a crime that is non-violent should be anywhere inside of a jail cell, period, for a sentence. You might go to a holding cell or something because you got arrested for shoplifting or whatever the fuck. I don't think anybody that does that type of shit, though, should ever have a prison sentence as part of their punishment. Give them fucking a social worker and give them community service and have them serve out their fucking time under supervision and let them be. You know what I mean? Like, it just, maybe people that are just like massively recidivistic, they've been arrested 90 times for shoplifting or something, maybe you throw them up in some prison. But like, those types of people just don't exist if there's proper intervention.
Yeah. Well, like, the thing is, there's like a lot of like layers to the shoplifting thing. Like, they'll have a head person and then they'll send little fucking stooges to rich.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of different, like, shoplifting operations. Some of it's just smash and grab. One person decides they want something, they go take it. Other times, they're part of an organization that's selling stolen goods, and it's financing some sort of black market.
When I worked at the mall, they found someone that had like a whole van full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's different levels of that, and I think that should be taken into account. I think a dude that's just a drug addict or he's desperate, walks into a Walmart, steals some golf clubs or some shit, I don't think that guy should go to prison for that. I don't think anybody was demonstrably hurt by that. Walmart has anti-theft insurance, and they've got all this stuff. Plus, they can afford to lose billions and billions of dollars and still be massively profitable. So nobody is directly hurt by somebody desperate walking into a store and stealing something that ain't theirs. Now, you know, you start talking about like a larger criminal organization and stuff. That's different, right? Because those are tied to drugs, human trafficking. You know, often at least. Like,
or at the very least, you know, pushing people to commit their crimes for them.
Right. I mean, it's usually part of a bigger operation. It's usually financing some part of a black market operation, selling drugs, prostitution, both gambling, those sorts of things. So, you know. But I don't think the people that are scooped up in the low ends of those types of criminal conspiracies need to spend anywhere near as much time as the people who created and ran them, right? I just feel like the lock them up and throw away the key mentality has fucked us, has fucked up generations and generations of Americans. It's a shame that we have a larger prison population than the next 5 or 6 countries combined. It's shocking and sad that that's the case. And it clearly isn't working. If it was working, there'd be less people in prison decade by decade. But there's more and more and more. So...
And another shitty thing, too, is, like, a lot of people that are falsely locked up, it's a huge undertaking to get that shit overturned and released.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's functionally almost impossible at certain levels for people. To even seek justice in that. Here's another thing that people don't talk about. So you take a guy, let's take that guy that walked into, he's desperate, he's a drug addict, he needs money for his next hit, he walks into a Walmart, steals some golf clubs. He gets busted. He gets sent up for 60 days in the county jail. He gets in there. He's right now a drug addict and a petty thief. He meets some dudes in there. What are you in for? Oh, I stole some golf clubs. Oh man, dude, you gotta hit me up when you get out. Here's what we do, blah, blah. So now you've functionally put this person in an environment where it's just proven they learn how to be better criminals there. A lot of people will go into prison pretty functionally just did something stupid, and come out with connections and knowledge about how to do dirt that they never would have gotten. So it actually creates more crime, which is unbelievable, right?
Well, yeah, because you get out and you got this record and you have way less opportunity.
Right. Well, you've got way less opportunity on the right side of the law, but you got way more opportunity doing the type of shit you were doing that got you in there in the first place.
Yeah.
You go in small time, you come out, you know people that are big time now. Just by virtue of selling up with them and eating with them and spending that 6 months with them or whatever.
I'll tell you, my ex wasn't reformed by fucking prison.
I mean, nobody is. I don't know. Maybe there are some people where it's like a wake up call to them. They get popped doing something, they come out, they spend their time, they come out, and they go like, "Fucking never again." But the rates of recidivism when it comes to like petty theft and property crime and stuff like that are through the fucking roof. So prison isn't helping. Drugs. It's a feature, not a bug, if you recognize what prisons are actually there for. Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's just a broken part of our justice system that at the bottom end of it is free labor and the need for it. So can't change the laws to be more humane and more rehabilitative because we need dumb fucking young people to make license plates for free or to, put together electronics for free or whatever it is, solder things together for free, fight fires, right? Clean up highways and byways and sidewalks and, help with demolition of an old city building that's being torn down and being replaced. You ever go by when they're doing work on a city building? There's always a chain gang there. Maybe not on the chains, but there's a police paddy wagon there, and there are dudes in orange working on the teardown, working on the reno. It's just like you're used as slave labor all over the place. You generate billion. I bet prisoners generate over $1 billion worth of revenue a year, and they get none of it functionally, or at least have their hands. They're part of a supply chain that's $1 billion supply chain, and they have nothing to show for it. Problem is, many deserve to be there. Okay, well, then let's separate the ones that deserve to be there from the ones that didn't hurt anybody with their crime.
Okay. These individuals produce nearly $11 billion worth of goods and services each year.
11 billion.
Yeah.
And they get nothing from it.
They get 13 to 52 cents per hour. In a place that charges them for commissary shit and phone calls and all that.
That doesn't even get you commissary. Yeah. Barely.
Might be able to get a stamp here and there.
If you're going to have an adult human in confinement, they need to work. That's part of society right now, but they should be paid properly. And give them training and experience, and don't have them train in things that they will be functionally locked out of. It's like the people that learn how to be great firefighters as prisoners can't work for the fire department when they come out because they have a felony on their record. How stupid is that? You take a person, you put them in this dangerous situation, but they learn it, they love it, they change their whole life around, they get out of prison. No, you can't be a firefighter. You got a felony on your record. Sorry. It's like, isn't this supposed to be rehabilitative? Like, why would you do that? Isn't rehabilitation like the whole point of this for somebody that's a non-violent felon? It's almost like they want your ass boomeranging in and out of prison your whole life. They got to pay you out of prison, so.
You got the work opportunity tax credit that gives employers $2,400 for work release employee or work release inmates, like where they have to give most of their money back to the state working a job.
Garbage. Not to mention, you can expunge charges from your record, but that takes years and costs a lot. Yeah. I mean, there should be a functional way for a person that shows a great desire to change after getting caught up in some prison shit. There should be a way for those people, after a couple of years of good and faithful progress and work and checking in with their parole agent and all that, as long as it's not a crime against another human being's body, you didn't hurt anybody, you stole something, you were a car thief, you broke into cars and stole them and stuff like that, you get out, you work for 2 years, you show that your life has changed, you should be able to expunge that fucking felony off your record.
Like just automatically, like after you're off parole.
There should be a mechanism via which parolees that show that they are clearly not interested in going back to prison, right? There should be a clear path out. A lot of the people that are locked up, the problem, as I understand it, is they understand just like we do what a blemish it is to be in prison for a year. And so they come out, and what can they hope for? A shit job if they're lucky, right? You got to give people something. Drug addiction is a disease and should be treated as such. Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, we need to bring back, the sanitariums, honestly. We need to bring back mental health facilities with an eye, obviously each one of them with an eye, a wing, a whole wing for addiction treatment. I worked at McDonald's, own my own house now, and took 5 years of savings. Cool. I have a similar story. When in my 20s, when I got my first long-term job, I was hired when I turned 20 at Starbucks, and I worked there for 8 years. I bought my first house while I was there. I bought my first car off of that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I mean, if you're willing to work hard, put in the OT, bust your ass, you can make something of yourself. But I'm sorry, like, McDonald's is not going to carry most people to a house. You have to understand that you are an outlier, right? Yeah, a certain amount of dedication is probably what separates you. And I don't blame people for not having dedication to jobs. I really don't. But yeah, if you are that type of person, you can do okay. Like, you can make a living still. It's a privilege, but not for long. Already, my story sounds like Fantasyland. I bought my first home at 21 years old. There's a huge problem with a lack of work ethic. I mean, things have changed since those, like my parents instilled in me a super, super, super strict work ethic. But my parents both came from legit dirt. We're not talking about, oh fuck, I'm broke and I'm scrounging up for groceries by the end of the month and I'm just barely making. I'm talking like dirt. My parents both experienced true, genuine homelessness, poverty, hunger. Those sorts of things were part of their upbringing, and so they were determined for their children to never have to experience that. And to their credit, I never have. I have never been homeless. I've never been ass out. I've always carried my own fucking weight. I've always managed to pay my own way, and I never had to put my hand out to nobody. But I'm not having kids. I have no children, and I have no plans to have children. And my generation is going to be one of the last generations to receive that kind of shit, right? No, I was never a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher. That was the first thing I went to college for. I got a scholarship to become a dramatic arts teacher. I got a full ride scholarship to a state college, and I dropped out. My dad and bro were drug dealers, and yet I'm the first one to make it to college because they taught me to hustle and grind. Yeah, I mean, the hustle and the grind, I understand that. I understand that mentality. But my parents were also unionists, right? So they knew the value of their labor and they fought for the value of their labor. That's the missing component in my mind. People are given no options to better themselves. And so why have a work ethic for a company that's paying you clearly way under what they should be paying you for donkey labor, and you've got no prospects of ever gaining anything from it other than just barely making your bills, you know what I mean? That's what's missing. It's that investment in your labor. Collective bargaining is what's missing, right? Yeah, it's the Big Chief, that restaurant that we ate at in Gatlinburg. Not Gatlinburg. Where was that? I can't remember. Deep South somewhere. Yeah. This place had dope-ass burgers. We had a meetup there. Dude gave us these shirts. When I got the shirt, I couldn't even wear it. It was like, it's a 2X, so it just was like way too small on me, and now it swallows my ass. So, that's nice. Gadsden. Yeah, that's right. Gadsden, Alabama. Gadsden, Alabama, sir. But yeah, it's the Big Chief. I think it's still there, too. I think I looked into it. I don't think I'll ever be in that part of the world ever again, but if I am, I know there's good eats over there. Yeah, Gadsden, Alabama is the fattest place on the planet. It's the fattest town in America. I'll say that. I don't know if it's the fattest place on the planet, but it's the fattest town in America. You ain't far from Gadsden? Go get you a burger over there then. Make a little road trip, man. They got good burgers. Get the pineapple milkshake. I know it sounds weird, but it's dope. Trust me. Get the pineapple milkshake. Get you a pineapple milkshake. Get you a big double cheeseburger and a large fry. Take a little road trip. Take the partner down there. Get some pregnancy burger down. You know what I mean? You feel me? Right there it is. The Big Chief. You ever heard of the Heart Attack Grill in Vegas? Yeah. Dude, I have never gone in that fucking place, bro. I've never gone in that fucking place. I won't go in that fucking place, bro. That ain't even funny for me, bro. I don't want to be reminded I'm about to have a heart attack when I'm eating a big old giant burger, bro. I know. I don't need to see it around me. You know, give me some Applebee's decor. Give me an old picture of Frank Sinatra and like a big old giant picture of a 50s Cadillac or something, you know, up on the wall. Give me that fucking Bennigan's treatment, all right? I want to look at some fucking other shit while I'm stuffing my face. Oh, that's a little bit of a far drive just for a burger, you know. That's about where, no, we were a little farther. I think we drove up from New Orleans to Gadsden. I think we were about 5 hours one way. So we stayed overnight, obviously. We booked a hotel, got there the night before, stayed overnight, did the meetup, stayed another night, came home. But yeah, you would figure that like one of the top rated restaurants in the fattest town in America would have good ass burgers, and you would figure correctly. They did have good ass burgers. Three hours is nothing. Hey, I mean, I tend to agree, but I don't know that I would hop in and do 3 hours just to get a burger and flip back. 3 hours is nothing if you're going to be fucking chilling at like Magic Mountain all day. 3 hours is nothing if you're going to be chilling at the beach all day. 3 hours if you're just going to go get a big old sloppy burger, that's a little bit far. Yeah, well, I mean, Texas be Texas, though. The Big Empty is what they call it. Texas be Texas be Texas, dude. I would drive, dude, I would get in my car right now and drive like hell just to go to a Buc-ee's, bro. I'd do my second 24-hour drive to Texas and give me some Buc-ee's. Dude, I swear to God, man. The day that Buc-ee's realizes that if they existed out of Texas, that they would make $1 trillion, they would immediately be the best thing that ever happened. I gotta give me some Buc-ee's. I need a Buc-ee's. I need to get Buc-ee's. You know what I need to do now that my ass isn't so fat is I need to get me a Buc-ee's t-shirt, bro. I need to rep Buc-ee's. Dude, Bucky the Beaver, bro. He'll slap a bitch if he has to. There's a Buc-ee's in Colorado. Ooh. Ooh. I could mail you one. I could just order one. Buc-ee's lets you order, you know, their merch. Buc-ee shirt, Buc-ee shirt. I'm gonna go to the beach next week. It's my week off, and it's been an extra long week because we had to shuffle shit around, and so we did like 6 weeks straight, and I'm fucking capital D done, bro. I felt so bad on the last show because I was just fucking cooked. And tomorrow is gonna be an exercise in fucking, I don't even know what, bro. It'll be me and TJ. I'm gonna try and bring the energy, bring the heat, and just make it through. And then I'm going to the fucking beach. I'm gonna drop mushrooms with my wife on the fucking beach, and that's gonna be that, bro. Time for that mushroom reset, bro. Time for that fucking deep ass trip on the beach. Ooh, gonna bundle up. Take a little ice chest down there. One of the best food items at Buc-ee's, all of it, anything. Get the fucking brisket sandwich, get the sausage roll, get the fucking, the burritos are dank there, the pizza is dank, anything you get Oh yeah, yeah. No, we trip on the beach. We go at night when there's nobody down there to harsh our mellow. Find a nice cozy spot. We bundle up, we snuggle up, and we trip. We trip bowls. Looking at the moon on the water and shit, watching the waves turn into glass. I'm glad you found something that you like doing, because that fucking shit, dude, I wouldn't last through one of those motherfuckers, bro. Going to fucking, I can't be fucking, no, dude, me and Molly don't mix. Well, have fun while your fucking young ass body can handle that shit. Because, trust me, right? My 45-year-old ass jumping around on Molly for 2 days at a festival does not sound like fun. It sounds like fucking hell. Enjoy it while you can, bro. Yeah, go trip in the woods. Go do it. I went into the woods because I wanted to live deliberately. I can't help you with that, Phoebes. I'll have to source your own materials. You live on a farm. I would recommend you look into growing a couple of spore beds, and I'll leave it at that. Oh, Jesus H. fucking Christ, bro. I'm high as a motherfucker. That's nice. This is some dank ass weed. I'm not even gonna front. This is some fucking Cali gas right here. I'm stoned as fuck. Harsh on the lungs, good on the brains. Hardest drug I've ever tried is coke, and it was only a bump. I was so drunk I couldn't even tell how it affected me. Yeah, I mean, I did coke a couple times in my 20s. Got some schmutz. Nobody told me I had schmutz. Yeah, no, I tried coke a couple times in my 20s. It was not my thing. Yeah, probably the most dangerous drug that I ever did recreationally. I don't know. I mean, you set aside crystal, because I did that one time and it was horrible when I was a teenager. Set aside crystal, set aside coke. Definitely the most dangerous thing I ever fucked with was pills. Perks, specifically. Percocets, Percodans, Vicodin, pretty much anything in that zone, you know. That's definitely my speed of stuff. Oh, jeez. Struggled with coke addiction for years now. I mean, some people, it hits different for some people, clearly. Like, did not hit me in a positive way, but some people just go fucking ape shit off of it. I don't know, man. I don't look back and have a whole ton of regrets when I look at my 20s, you know, that party era. But I don't have a whole lot of good memories from it either. Does your neck hurt? Yeah. I don't have a lot of bad memories from it either. I just don't have a lot of memories from it, bro. That's a weird thing. It's like the life that you lived starts to disappear. It's the Tao. You know, it's me letting it's like live it's letting go of the past means not autistically remembering conversations that are 15 years old. It means not remembering all the worst moments in your life, right? And when you let go of those memories, your brain just doesn't really functionally have a way to reconstruct them. It's the Tao for me that has allowed me to live more in the present, but it's still a work in progress, man. I still get lost in the sauce sometimes. I have not yet learned to let thoughts come and go. Not fully. Not when it counts. Fucked up thing is my story getting on and off Adderall was similar to your experience with Effexor. That psychiatrist was awful. Yeah. There's a lot of pushers. You think the Tao requires you to let go of good thoughts as well? Yeah. 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 Like I said, my memories have blurred for both good and bad. I've let go of a lot. I've had to. I'm the type of person who's past drove. It would drive me insane. I lived with one foot in my past for so long that I never really. I was never even really functionally in the place where I could think about the future. Very destructive in my life. You know, destructive to multiple relationships in my life. At least what I added to the disintegration of relationships in my life. My inability to let things go, right? To put it very bluntly. How do you change that? The Tao. Like that. I mean, honestly, like it didn't start with the Tao with me. It started with mindfulness meditation and really like throwing myself back into that practice. But honestly, contextualizing it has been the Tao and only the Tao. Starting to sketch a concept out in my mind for a possible book. It's one of two things. It's either a book or it's like a Substack where I write my thoughts, but I have a name for it. I don't want to give away the name because it's good. But to try and like push myself to think more philosophically through the lens of Taoism. So, grift incoming? No. I'm not recruiting. Yeah, my Tao diary. I mean, you could read the Tao in a couple hours. It's not a long work. Um, so, but I'm not pushing it on anybody. It's a personal thing. I'm not looking to charge for it. necessarily. I'm not like somebody said grift. Like I'm not looking to charge for my Substack. I'll just make it a public one. Maybe not forever, but you know, right at the beginning, I definitely don't want to. Money is not the object of it. It's having an outlet and and an impetus to develop my thoughts on it. Wo guo wo shi chong chong. I know you aren't pushing it, but another point in my life where I want to expand my philosophical horizons. I wanted to narrow mine. My philosophical horizons were a little too unfocused for a very long time, I think. In fact, I don't really even think I had much of a philosophical life for a very long time. It's kind of like let me explain something to you guys. One of the things that I've realized in the last 10 years of my life is that I spent the previous 30 years of my life living in survival mode, right? Just gotta get it done. Just gotta make it through. Just gotta do this. Never breathe, never stop, never think, never talk, never want, never anything, right? Just move forward. Keep your focus on the work. It was this very like, it felt to me like something masculine, like it came from my father and my grandfather, their input, right? Focus, focus, focus. Well, for what was the question that I never stopped to ask? Plur. Well, there you go. Now I've asked the question, right? And really asked it, not just let it pass through me, but asked the question, like, for what? And I had no answer. The answers that I gave were things that were all related to the work, to keep my family together, whatever shape it might be taking at whatever point in my life, to make sure that everybody had food, to make sure that everybody had shelter, to make sure that everybody had clothes, to make sure that everybody had this, that. That was it. That was my focus. That's what I felt I contributed. And that's just not, for what? To what end? Survival. That was the answer. Survival. I was in survival mode for 30 years of my life as an adult. And now that I'm not, I don't know what to do. Right? I'm at a crossroads in my life, a good crossroads, but one that is filled with uncertainty. And I realized a while back that one of the reasons I feel so trepidatious about that is because for the first time in my life, I'm not living in the past and I am considering the future. I'm not obsessing about the future, but I'm allowing the future to be part of my thought process. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, our relationship is one of those relationships, right? I've never not been in that mode until now in my life. It took me until halfway through, my 40s to come to a fucking place where I realized that if I didn't functionally change my thought process, I was just gonna die. I was gonna burn out like a donkey, keeping everybody fed. And now that uncertainty is fun for me. because I honestly avoided the future like the plague for most of my life. That's where uncertainty lies. But now as I'm letting go of things in my past, truly, to the point where memories of those things are blurred and disappear to a certain extent. My past no longer rules me, and the future doesn't rule me. I live now in the Wu way, which is beautiful, but I need to know how to operate within it. I don't know how to pilot my body in Wu Wei. And that's not a worry, it's just a challenge for me, a different way of thinking. I'll be visiting a Taoist temple for the first time in my life over the Thanksgiving holiday here coming up. I want to expand my knowledge. I have less safety nets than you think. Let's put it that way. But there's some truth to that statement. I worked most of my life without a net, but it caused I needed to have a reduction in. I don't know how to put this. To be honest with you, I'm not sure what happened. Well, I'll tell you one of the things that happened. I married Amelia. She is unlike anybody I've ever met. She's like a calmness in my life. And it's through her that I have learned to be calm. Or at the very least, she was one of the influences on that, one of the major influences on that. I feel like in my past, when it came to my partners, present company not excluded, that we were very much alike in energy to the point where it drove everyone in the relationship and everyone around the relationship functionally fucking insane. And, I have to put a lot of that on me because I just sought out that person over and over. I'm not trying to say everybody I was with was the same, but the energy was very similar across the board. Each in their own bundle of uniqueness, but as far as loud, boisterous, outgoing, funny, quick to anger, quick to hold a grudge. These are all things about me, right? That I looked for out there. And, I didn't do it. I was a crazy, insane bitch up until recently, and just crazy bitch now. Oh, gotcha. I don't really remember you that way. To be quite frank with you, but I see the humor in it, but I don't remember you that way. The great thing about living in Wu Wei is what remains for me. I'm gonna fucking cry if I talk about it, so I'm just not gonna. It's just the beauty of it, right? Because you and I could say this functionally for my ex-wife and for all of the women I've been with, I remember the beauty of it. And there were beautiful moments. And that is the gift of Wu Wei for me, is that I don't have to be sad when I think about those things anymore. I can be happy. And That's a beautiful fucking gift. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Was your former wife kind of your opposite though? Religious, right leaning? I don't know about right leaning, but religious. My opposite in terms of focus and like life goals, maybe yeah, maybe very much. My absolute overmatch in terms of just bulldozer of a personality, right? Like just absolutely unshakable, unflappable, would not let you step on 1 inch of her, and just was ready to go at a moment's notice, just ready to fight to the fucking death over everything, right? And I can't even claim that. I'm a dude that in my past, dude, I'd be a fucking straight liar. And don't, believe me, I'd be a straight liar if I said that I didn't love some fucking vocal combat. But, she outshone me. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing too. But it's just something I accept now. It's just a wonderful thing. There's no ill will, there's no ugliness, and any ugliness that's there is buried beneath what I just talked about. In the moment when something passes that reminds me of one of those people, which happens quite often, I'm not hit with this wave of dread and regret and sadness and angst. I'm hit with just a burst of appreciation for the beautiful moments that I've shared with the people that I have shared my life with over the course of my life. Not just my partners, my friends, current and not so current, right? My family, all of that, right? It's just it's a beautiful feeling. Well, yeah, I mean, that's fun. You learned how to adult from me. Yeah, well, I mean, I learned something from everybody. I've been in a lot. Yeah, I've had a lot of really fucking long crash and burn kind of relationships, bro. Long. I never really had one of those relationships that was like flared up for a year. Oh man, I feel like Ashley, your and I relationship should have been that. I think if our relationship would have been one of those things where it was just like a whirlwind, crazy in love, and then after a year we just realized like, fuck, this ain't working, and we both went, I think it wouldn't have been so tragic for me on my end. But I don't know if I'm wired that way. Well, I wasn't trying. I wasn't. I never was trying to be a teacher. I came to you like I came to everybody else. All I knew how to do was make it. And some of the things, maybe I did it a fucking wonky way or didn't prioritize certain things. But I tell you what, I never did. Never didn't make it. I got a lot of these long relationships in my past, and all of them like crash and burn pretty fucking bad. And the only when you're doing that hard work of looking back at your past and scrutinizing it, which is what I really had to do. I had to face it. And it's like, it wasn't just this last breakup. It wasn't the one before that. It wasn't this. It wasn't that. It was me. I'm the common denominator in all of that misery and pain. And you know, the thing about it is that I'm the common denominator from my perspective. It's a 50-50. I never feel like I added more than I took. I feel like to my detriment, but against, I wasn't doing it out of malice. I found people and fell in love with people who were the types of people who fed the worst instincts about me in some way, in different ways. And learning that lesson, right, was step one for me. to like the point where I'm at now, where it's like the memories have just taken on a different tinge. Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. It's kind of reductive because you can't really explain it. I think what happened between you and I, not to bring it all up in public and shit, was more complex than just our mental illnesses not melding together well. But I agree that they didn't, right? Our particular diagnoses and are basically being untreated at that time as well. It didn't help anybody. It didn't help anybody for a lot of that time anyway, untreated. Um, yeah. Yeah, I mean, no, it's a worthwhile summary. It's just, you know, uh, I wasn't trying to correct you. I agree. It's all the fucking sirens around here tonight, bro. Popo be creeping. It's not about burying the bad memories. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I don't have bad memories. It's just the hold that they used to have on me has lessened, 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 and a lot of things like parts of those memories have been lost. Not buried, not intentionally forgotten, just lost as a function of not being necessary. That's how the brain works. Nola baby's looking to get hooked up. Does time heal all wounds though? No. That's bullshit. Some wounds are just forever. It's like, think about it like this. Some experiences in life just take a chunk out of your ass, and there's no healing that, right? But you go forward and you learn to work around that chunk. And yeah, dude, as a person, I'm not trying to fucking, oh, poor me. But dude, I've been through some wild shit in my life. Wild, wild, wild. Ugly, nasty, horrible, explosive, violent shit. And I think I had it pretty good compared to a lot of people, which is really extra sad. But yeah, I've been through an extra couple helpings of bullshit in my life compared to your average person. And, I don't believe that time heals all wounds shit. I've been through some wild fucking shit. Wild shit. Going all the way back, bro. All the way back to my fucking young childhood. The first era of my life that I could even reach back and snatch a memory from. And it's tragic. So it's like you can get lost in that kind of thinking. But when those memories used to come up, I used to have physical, audible reactions to them. And I get very in my own head. And I have a very overactive imagination. And so those two things mix with, mental illness, and they create like some real visceral gut check kind of moments out of me. But less so as time goes on. And that's a good thing. Yeah, it's interesting that the brain does that. And it's like we become the architects of our own torture when we get locked in our desire one way or the other, right? I had this huge desire, I can fix it. If I could just go back and do it again, I could fix it. And what a stupid thing, knowing as a human being that we experience time as linear, right? Um And it really took philosophical exposure for me to really start gut checking that. And the Tao is where I landed. Yeah. Oh, me too, Ash. I'm happy that you're doing well. You know, I'm thankful for that, and that's good. That's good. But yeah. These days I can still summon the memory. Yeah, yeah. I know how it is. But yeah. Peace is it's everything, right? Hell to the fuck yeah, baby. Thank you. It runs even deeper. Boom. Boom. Did you happen to catch, and did it happen so fast? And what you thought would always last has passed you by. Is everything speeding up, or am I slowing down? I'm just spinning around and I don't know why. All the pieces don't fit, but I really didn't give a shit. I never wanted to be like you, but for I aspire a remedial liar. And I'm running out of things I can do. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, baby. Yeah, that's fine. Running out of spots. We need a better table.
Yeah.
For our patio needs. Clearly, you and I are in need of a real table. A big boy table for out here.
Yeah.
You know.
I just didn't want to. Oh, of course, this is the only one out here.
Oh, it's okay,
Take
baby.
care of that now.
I have one sitting here that I haven't even started. But yeah, you can just grab one real quick. I think that's one of Nine Inch Nails' best albums. What song was that on? Or what album was that on? Is that Broken or Fixed or one of those?
I have no idea.
I can't remember which album that was on. Which Nine Inch Nails album?
Baby.
What?
Got a little ash on your nose.
Oh no! Schmutz! I got schmutz over here too. I'm all schmutzed up. Look at me. Fragile, yeah.
Was Gary Payton a winner?
Huh?
Was Gary Payton a winner?
Yes. Yeah, we can just keep cycle buying the Gary Payton.
Yeah, until they run out.
Yeah, because this is, I think maybe I'm getting a little too, I was hitting the indica a little too much.
Yeah.
I think the hybrids might, I'm gonna monkey with the hybrids for a bit.
Yeah.
Because I like indica, it helps with the pain. Like the muscle shit and the back shit I have and stuff. It loosens me up. But I think it also kind of like feeds the depression a little bit.
I think you got too deep into the sativa for a little bit and you wanted to revert.
Dude, I'm a psychonaut. What can I say? There are 2 hot goth chicks right now underneath your stream. Damn, son. I bet they've got lots of viewers. Maybe I should do myself up like a hot goth. Hello, everyone. It's Azrael Abyss here. Dye my hair black. Put some fucking guy liner on. Some heavy guy liner. Maybe in some black lipstick. Hello. Welcome to my dark dungeon cave. I can't be a fucking goth, bro. That was the problem with it. Dude, back in the 90s especially, I always thought goth chicks were super fucking hot. But I could never be goth, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I just can't summon that within myself, you know. For a guy that loves theater, it's too theatrical. What cones do you use? Raw. I'm just like the big raw, like what are they? The extras, king size, classic raw papers, yeah. I don't know. These have always, they've never like let me down. And I never in my life learned to twist up like a really decent hand-rolled. I can do it if I need to. So I can roll a blunt, I can roll a joint, but they don't come out very good. So I've just kind of like...
Filled a cone.
Yep. But I used to do those wrong too. You know, they taught me how to fill a cone. Chelsea. Chelsea was the one that taught me what I was doing wrong with the cones. Packing them too tight. You really only want to pack them tight down here at the very base just for stability. And then the rest of it, you don't want to like leave it completely loose like when you put it in. You just want to lightly tamp it down and get rid of like any air pockets in there. And then when you start getting to where I'm at now, it's like 1 or 2 more of those little treatments and you're going to want to twist it off because, you know, you don't want to overstuff your joint. That's another mistake. I mean, if you're careful with it, you can just pack these all the way to the tip and use it like a cig, not even twist them off. I just don't prefer it that way. Takes a little more time and effort than I'm willing to expend usually. Some bamboo cones, and they're nice. Yeah, Chelsea knows, dude. Chelsea knows what's what. Don't be questioning Chelsea, okay? She knows what's what. Chelsea knows what's what. I miss Chelsea a lot.
I forgot. Did you guys even smoke together last time you saw her or no?
Yeah, we did, remember? Yeah. We went down at the hotel and got high down on the sidewalk outside and then went up and... did some edibles in the room, and they played with Dino and Cricket.
Yeah. He drove him back, and I had to like sit in the middle thing, just squooshed.
I know. There's just nowhere else you can bundle TJ into a normal sized car.
B, why don't you go in and stop adding to the chorus?
Well, you were great in the Sons of Anarchy show. Thanks, kid. Thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. I liked being a big burly motorcycle riding guy, because that's what I am. It's funny. Anytime somebody says I look like a biker, I always think of the first thing my dad said to me after I started talking to him again. He beat cancer, came out of his like kind of like fugue state. And I went and visited him, and he was like, "Damn, boy, you look like a badass biker or something." I was like, "What? What kind of bikers you been hanging around, Dad?"
Oh, that was a fucking emotional roller coaster, wasn't it?
What?
Seeing your dad.
Oh, yeah. That was crazy. It was very crazy. I'd written his ass completely all the way fucking off. Not even like death, just like I'm never going to talk to this fuck again. And it seemed like he was happy with that as well on some level, because he didn't reach out.
He wasn't bugging your mutual contacts.
Nope.
Updates.
But of course, you know, he had to go die of cancer, or try to die of cancer, and fail. And then I'm, you know, of course going to be in the loop there. Was the reason you decided not to talk to him again? It wasn't just one reason. It was an amalgam of many, many reasons that I don't really feel like digging up and rehashing, because there's no point. Overall, I'll give you the overall. He was just, he was not a positive presence in my life. And so, yeah. How long? I'd have to do the fucking math, bro. I think we went and saw him in 2022. I think he and I stopped talking in 2015. So yeah. 7 years, something like that. 8 years. You'll miss your asshole dad when he's gone. Yeah, you probably will. One of them things, man. One of them things. You think it's generally true that people never truly change? Yeah. Yeah. People are capable of profound change. Just most people never do.
Yeah, there's certain like fundamental issues that people have to like either make a conscious effort to like control all the time, or they're just not going to change.
Yeah. I mean, in every instance, it requires either like catastrophic intervention or just a person summoning the will to change. And in those instances, people can be very different people year to year. You know, that's the thing, is like one of the things when you've been doing a job like this for as long as I've been doing it, for 10 years now, my whole kind of like philosophy and personality has been broadcast to you know, varying sized audiences, and people that have been watching me through all of that you know, lament the changes that have happened in my life since. Some of them do. And I wonder what they expected of me to be the same, what they expect of themselves to be the same at the beginning of one decade that they are at the end of it. That's just never been. Do you miss the person, or do you miss the good times and the good side they sometimes showed? Sometimes I had to ask myself a lot with negative people in your life. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you miss the person. I don't know if you miss um, some aspect of the person. Yeah, I know what you're talking about when it comes to people that have been inherently like negative parts of your life, frenemies or whatever the fuck, and then, I don't know. But I really don't know the answer to that. Cut my dad off 4 years ago, not a positive influence in my life. And yeah, I mean, there you go. Good for you. Grown to be a real loser, and I'm done. Yeah. Clean your room, bucko. I mean, don't look at yourself as a loser. Maybe it's helpful motivation to you, but it really is denigrating to your kind of like personal worth to call yourself a fucking loser. Just say, hey, look, I've allowed this, and this to slip. I don't want to do that no more, man. That's okay. I just caution you against over criticism of yourself. Being fucking horrible to yourself is the root of you being horrible to other people. I'll tell you that right now. At the middle of like every fucking like kind of negative relationship and friendship and interaction that I had for a very long time in my life, at the root of all of that was I was absolutely brutal to myself, right? Brutal. Brutally overcritical, brutally unforgiving. People do change a little as they age. They change a lot as they age, bro. Maybe you just haven't seen the scope yet. People change a lot as they age. Welcome to being a human being. You're not going to be the same as you are in this decade of your life a decade from now. I fucking guarantee it. Those are the worst, most horrible things you can imagine to yourself. Yeah. Well, you should probably stop doing that, is what I'm saying. I made a video about it a long time ago. It was one of the first barriers and hurdles that I had to get over in my therapeutic journey, which, like every other important relationship in my life, up until that point, crashed and burned in a fucking spectacular fashion. But my therapeutic journey was, that was the first big hurdle, was like, you cannot fucking mentally punish yourself for everything you've ever done wrong. You've got to forgive yourself. You got to love yourself. You've got to love, like, yeah, I know it's a stupid term, but your inner child. You've got to think about the fact that you were once a child and you didn't get what you needed then, and now you're an adult and you're suffering with that. And that's, that's everybody's story. And, you have to confront that. It was tough for me. And I'm still kind of a ruthless and relentless self-critic sometimes. It's not an attribute that I think I'll ever completely shed, but it doesn't rule my life the way it used to. I mean, I viciously against myself for most of my life, which makes no sense. Like, I have to live with me every second of every day. Why would you make an enemy of yourself? But fuck, dude, that's the story of my life from about like 21 to 40. Something like that. Maybe a little past 40. 40, the game changer. It really wasn't for me. I didn't see it coming, but it ended up, yeah, I mean, this decade is going to be a big game changer, but every decade in my life has been that, so I don't know why I would think my 40s are different, but yeah, so far my 40s have been a game changer, I would say. But so were my 30s, so were my 20s. 8 years is an eternity. You could get a whole ass fucking higher education in 8 years. So, do it. I did 8 years worth of Starbucks, and I can still make a good latte, but I don't know how much. I don't know how much I learned from it beyond that. How much applicable shit I learned.
I think a lot.
You think?
Yeah. You were a manager. You were fucking dealing with people.
Yeah.
Solving problems, putting out fires, communicating with people.
That's true. Dealing with all kinds of different, like, personalities and making them gel. I don't know. I'll be 31 soon. Yeah, 30, 31. That's crazy. Yeah. My 30s were all about, like, I'm going to settle down and do what everybody thinks I should be doing. I'm not saying that's the wrong thing to do. Sometimes maybe that's what you do need to do. But, yeah, that was my 30s. Well, the first part of my 30s anyway. And then, like, about halfway through, I threw a grenade into all of that, and I went the other direction for a while. I don't fucking know.
Now the craving to settle down is ever so further out of reach.
Yep. That's why letting go of your desire, letting go of your cravings is a big part of being at peace with your circumstance. My 30s were about fixing all the mistakes I made in my 20s. Yeah, I mean, that too. I did quite a bit of that.
Is that a fear of yours?
What?
That, like, I'm going to substantially change as I get older?
Mm-mm. No. I mean, I know you will. I don't fear the change. I welcome it. It's gonna be interesting to see that happen. And you're watching it happen with me. That's part of being in a relationship with somebody for a long time, is that you get to see that person through. You get to be a part of that person's life through these formative times, and people are constantly like. That's the thing, is like it's really making me reflect on that. Like, do most people not change? It's like sometimes you're just talking about one kind of behavior when you talk about that. Mm-hmm. You really look at a human being. I mean, most people are so fucking profoundly different than they were just 10 years ago.
I think maybe the way to phrase it is, like, if you want a certain change to happen, you shouldn't hope for it. The changes people go through over time aren't predictable.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. It's one way of putting it for sure.
Like, you can hope for one aspect of them to change, but there's no guarantee that that's the one that's going to change.
Right.
Without their desire.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's true. Dirty D from the Salty Sea.
He's just being so pathetic.
Yeah. I don't really want to settle down in the traditional sense, but I want a home base. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh?
Is he getting too pathetic for you?
Yeah, I mean, he can come out now. That other dog is done doing his salty outburst. You can come out now, wimpy boy. I just don't want you adding to the chorus, man.
Yeah. Oh boy, it's gotta be an immediate nap.
Yeah, he needs lap reassurance.
You gonna get haircut soon? Yeah, I'm gonna get haircut soon.
Yeah, Tuesday, he gonna be de-shagged. Come on. Oh boy, what a leap! What a leap! He gonna get de-shagged on Tuesday. He gonna get de-shaggied on Tuesday. One last time because it's so hot here.
He really didn't get very mad at this time, though, did he?
No. I mean, he's not long enough to really start.
Getting crazy matted.
It's just when he grows out to like what his max length is, he will just.
Yeah. Everything.
You got to brush him every fucking day, and it doesn't even matter because he's gonna mat overnight. Gee. Such a lickery boy. Is that Dynor? Yes. That is the Dirty D from the Salty Sea.
He almost fell off your lap.
He's crazy. He's crazy. Dad'll catch him, though.
And you got 2 leaves stuck to your pose.
Double Poe Leaf. Oh, no. I'm gonna get the Poe Leaf, please. You don't need no help with it. What kind of sticky leaf from these sticky trees? It just needs to be fall and then winter, so there ain't no more leaf.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to help.
What do you think motivates trolls to use their time to do what they do? Same thing that motivates people to watch, like these body cam channels where people get arrested, like add 4 felonies as they're getting arrested by acting stupid, or true crime where they watch people that have just gone like completely lost it and gone off the edge. Like trolling is an antisocial behavior. I mean, at the core of trolling is to laugh at someone else's expense, right? And if somebody just stood across from you in public and just started laughing in your face and goofing on you, right, there would probably be a fist fight in a lot of cases, right? But the internet has decoupled us from that, right? And it allows people to be constant and persistent annoyances in people's lives over and over. And there's a little flutter and a rush when that person who you've spent all this time targeting mentions you, reacts to you in some way, and it becomes a positive feedback loop within what is ultimately a giant negative feedback loop.
Yeah, it's like the same way people get addicted to video games or whatever.
Sure.
Little dopamine.
But there's
hits.
something more antisocial about
Yeah.
being a person that's out there like, I'm going to try and ruin somebody's night or make somebody rage or make somebody cry or make somebody feel bad about how they look or how they sound or who they are. I'm going to, sneak diss. That's another one that's even worse, It's just like, I'm going to try and get under this person's skin when they're vibing.
Yeah. I just mean like it's the same feedback loop of like little dopamine hit, do it again, little dopamine
Sure,
hit.
but there's an extra component to this that's like traditionally antisocial. If you're seeking out that level of dopamine loop, there's something antisocial about that versus just getting, like I was earlier, sucking at Dragon Ball Sparking. You know what I mean? That's the only problem with that game. I give it a 9 out of 10. I deduct 1 point because I suck at it. Sorry, dude, if I suck at a game, I suck 1 point off of it right from the jump, bro. It's a 9 out of 10 game. only because I suck at it. When I get good at it, maybe I'll revise my review. That's what I'm saying. Here's a guy right here, trans boy. So this is fucking on trans people, me trying to impugn my manhood or whatever the fuck by calling me a trans person, and simultaneously fucking on trans people in general, right? And it's done in a way that is, it's just one word and a question, right? So there he is. There's that guy. He's caught in the, and he just got a little palpitation when I mentioned his hateful shit. And he'll go back and he'll do it after I ban him again. Because that's his video game right now. But there's a distinctly antisocial component. This guy would never walk up to a human being in public and ask that question to them in that manner. But here on the internet, that person's shadow is allowed to show. It's very Jungian what goes on the internet when it comes to trolls, right? And this is coming from a person, I'm a troll. I've spent a long time trolling, and I still do it constantly. Excuse me. But I don't do the same kind of like hardcore antisocial trolling that I used to do when I was young. I'm not following dudes around or constantly inserting myself into different groups where they can't kick me out and just trying to make everybody in that group angry. Right? Now I've upped the game. Now I troll my audience. It's true though. I mean, trolling is a huge part of what I do. It informs a lot. It's connected to improvisational skill and all of these other things that I've learned in the kind of like art that I've studied. And so, yeah, I will fully admit, like, especially when I'm in this performance environment, sometimes I say things that are calculated to drive people insane. Just to see what happens. Just to watch it unfold. Just to keep myself cemented as the lightning rod of my show. It's a funny position, but the show has to have one. The show must have a lightning rod. If it doesn't, then the show becomes hyper competitive, it becomes unfocused, and a lightning rod is super necessary when you've got a show that's opinionated. It's about, it's throwing something at people's face that like tweaks their nose a little bit, contradicts their opinion a little bit, makes them wonder whether you're joking or not. Right? And that sort of environment, that kind of chaotic environment needs a lightning rod. And that's me. And that'll probably always be me, no matter what I do, right? In this type of environment, in like a collaborative or non-collaborative, like vlogging or streaming or whatever. Yeah.
So if you're the lightning rod, what is TJ? Because he's the butt of a lot of jokes.
Sure. I mean, Scotty is the straight man, not literally and figuratively. I'm talking more in terms of the old duo and trio.
Yeah.
Scotty is the most normal person on the panel, and he's kind of everybody else's voice, right? He's the closest to a vox populi on the channel. He's definitely like the most logical and logic-minded of the three of us. He's definitely more interested in the numbers side of things, the statistical side of things, and he brings a very cautious kind of like demeanor when talking about politics and religion and that sort of thing, right? So he's kind of like an everyman. He's the straight man. TJ is kind of like the wild man. He's the mascot. Right? He's the wild man of the group. He's the guy that, like, one minute he's giving a heartfelt speech, and the next minute he's lost in booty jiggling nowhere. You know what I mean? And everywhere in between and all of that. He's kind of like the face of the show. And then I'm the lightning rod of the show. I'm the love him or hate him character, right? I'm the character that some people love to hate and some people hate to love. And when something is said as a group, which is pretty often, and people that share a whole lot of political leanings, right? When something is said vociferously by all three in the group, somebody needs to take the strike. And you can see it's almost always me. If all three of us say, Kamala Harris sucks as a candidate, it will be Paul says Kamala Harris sucks as a candidate. Or TJ went along with Paul. That's my favorite little one they weave.
Yeah,
TJ
is just completely like
TJ's agency is gone in their mind, and I'm the overlord puppeteer of the show. And every time TJ wants to counter me, I freak out. And now he's learned, don't talk to Paul. It's like fucking retarded, bro. It's retarded, but that's what it has to be, right? You put those three things together, you got yourself a show. TJ is Hannibal, and you are B.A. Baracus. I have no fucking clue. I don't watch the Hannibal show. I'm assuming that's what that's from. I'm the lightning rod of the god bombs. Boom! Yeah, they all need one, man. It's all got to come down on somebody's ass, Yeah, that's showbiz. That's showbiz for your ass.
I swear every goddamn night they do that vroom vroom shit.
Well, I think that's what the cops were here breaking up earlier, because I heard sirens come from two directions. I wasn't hearing anybody revving, but it might have, I think they're trying to chase it down because I think people are complaining. What a stupid thing to complain about. Just let the stupid fucking kids do donuts in the parking lot. Let them wreck their Mustang and learn the most expensive lesson of their life early so that they're not retarded by the time they're 20. Come on, let them be stupid. That's what your teens are for, to be dumb and to not consider the needs of anybody around you. And if you're doing it in a parking lot and the only person that suffers any consequences are you, just let him fucking do it, all right?
I still think it's hilarious that the gas station has a sign like no more than 3 students at a time.
I mean, dude, it's probably because they fucking just swarm that place.
Yeah.
They need to put up a couple more gas stations around here.
Yeah.
Because those kids are just like, it's probably the kids that go to both the schools that are nearby are probably just swarm that place after school. Yeah. So what do they have to do? Just like line up 2 by 2?
I don't know. I've never seen them push the limit because of the times I go, but I assume
it's probably because their backpacks and shit. They're probably like worried about theft more than anything. Is what it is, I guess. In my area, people do that in cul-de-sacs. Yeah, there's probably cul-de-sacs around here they're doing it in too. We hear it all over the place, so. But most of the angles I hear it from tend to be
like that big empty parking lot, school over there.
Yep, school over there, school over there. It's usually the school parking lots. Eventually, the cops are just going to hang fucking cameras in the school parking lots pointed down at the lot and start identifying who's doing it and cutting the parents a big fat ticket. And, it's a total dystopia out there. Where are kids supposed to go and drift, bro? What if you just need to drift? Where can you go as a teen? Say you're fucking 17 years old. And bro, you just need to Tokyo drift. You need to dude, you gotta lose control to be in control. You know what I mean? You gotta get sideways with it. You wanna feel the road go out from under the back end of your car. And you wanna drift it. Where are you supposed to go? Where are you supposed to go? I don't know. feel like those places are shrinking, man.
You know what they need? A stunt driving school.
Yeah. Find these little drifter kids and be like, all right, you little bastard. This is all you love, then come with us. You're going to be the stunt driver / like, you'd even make them like military like Baby Driver.
Yeah.
You know, but like a good guy Baby Driver that chases down criminals after bank robberies and shit. Pursuit guy.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that still have car chases. Fucking fill the ranks.
True. But then, I mean, I think there's more kids drifting ass right now in America than there are spots for stunt people. You know, we got to give them something else they can do.
Oh, yeah.
We got to have a couple of different, like, vehicle, maybe like, you know, racing. And send some of them to racing school, some of them to cop school, some of them to secret agent school. You know what I mean? The ones that can really drift.
Mm.
The ones that can really drift, you send those motherfuckers if they drift hard, right, but precise, you send those motherfuckers secret agent school. Is that James Bond shit right there, bro? Have you ever seen people that drift at the top level of, like, the sport? It's wild. Like, they put up cones, right? And these cones are, like, where you have barely any room in the car. Mm-hmm. On left and right. There's a whole course of these cones, and if you knock over a cone, you lose points. Mm-hmm. But you have to maintain a certain speed. Mm-hmm. And so these cones are meant, like, there's spots where you have to do the donut drift, where you have to go around cones, but you can't go too far because there's cones around the drift spot. It's wild, bro. It's like, all right, motherfucker, let's be real. Teach that motherfucker to use some knives and some guns, and it's over, right? You got James Bond.
Or you could make GTA, like, hyper-realistic and just, like, film all the angles of them doing crazy driving shit.
Yeah. You could, yeah. Mocap artists and stuff like that, right? But I think stunt guys are filling them roles, too.
Yeah.
Make them oh yeah, cops love to drift their shit. You're absolutely right. They love a chase, bro. Saw a lot of cops out there that are in pursuit vehicles that have the souped up fucking V8, the straight inline V8, souped up cop only version of the fucking car or whatever. By the way, California has a town in it now that is policed by fucking cyber trucks. I saw that.
I don't think they're gonna make it.
We became the first town in America to adopt the first state in America to have a town in it that adopted it's a smaller town, but it's a coastal town. Yeah. Anyway,
it's gonna break down. Like, they're gonna be following someone and it's just gonna go like,
I don't know. It's like, I gotta be honest with you, Phoebes. Okay, let me break this down to you. When I first got in my electrical vehicle, right, I was afraid to put my foot in it. Once I finally put my foot in it, and I mean put the pedal to the metal, I understood the power, because the car I drive has 2 electric engines in it. It's got independent engines for the front and the back. And when I put my foot in it, it simultaneously puts just a fuck ton of horsepower directly to the wheels in a way that you can't even do because you're limited by combustion. So it's just like the pursuit ability of even a Cybertruck is insane versus your average car that's going to be involved in a pursuit, like a Toyota Tercel from the fucking late 90s or
Yeah, like, you have to pace yourself when you're, like, coming from a stop to go. Like, you don't want to fucking speed up faster than the people at the red light because they can't speed up as fast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, electric vehicles being standardized are going to
they might even have like
they're gonna shave hours off of some people's commutes just by virtue of the fact that they can lose and gain speed so much more efficiently than your average 4-stroke gas engine could ever hope to.
I feel like the average person coming from like a stop to a go it takes them like
Oh my
a full
God.
minute to get up to
Dude,
like
these things
40 or
launch.
50.
You put your foot in it and
Yeah.
not. Have you ever like put
Yeah,
it in
like on
sport?
getting on the freeway. Just,
Yeah. Yeah, you just put. Well, I want to know. Like, as I switched it one time when I was driving myself back from Madeira. I'd gone somewhere to hang out with mom. I was back from Madeira. I put it in sport mode.
I don't mess with that stuff.
Oh my God, bro! It's like even worse. It was like I was like, okay, all right, boop, all right, that's done. I'm done with that. But just know that like, if we need to go fast, I know what button to push. Okay, there's a go. There's a warp speed button on this fucking goddamn thing. I've never been in a full autonomous driving vehicle. My car has a fully autonomous driving mode if it's an HD mapped freeway or road.
It doesn't last very long though.
Well, in California, the reason it doesn't last super long in California is because there's so much goddamn constant fucking construction on every major freeway and highway. But you get it like going through the city, you can get what the blue auto drive is what they call it, where it's just like you can take your hands off the wheel. It really
Feet
only
off the pedals.
feet off the pedals, hands off the wheel. If you want it to change lanes, right, it'll tell you like slow car in this lane approaching, and it'll tell you it wants to go left, and you don't have to touch anything other than the turn signal. You hit the turn signal and it just goes and merges itself and keeps going. You can change how fast it's going. So of course, if it's 70, you put it at 75, and it will keep that speed or do everything safely that it can to keep that speed. It's not gonna like duck and dive, and you can just chill. All it asks you to do is keep your eyeballs on the road, and even that is probably not necessary at this point.
I feel like we gotta figure out where that camera is and like clean it or something, because it's starting to flag me with no auto drive on saying look forward. So I wonder if like we find the camera and we just give it like a really good clean, if it'd end up better.
Yeah, it's right there on the fucking steering column.
Yeah.
Is the one that's looking at our eyes. So
we just gotta give it a good rub down and see if that fucking helps at all. 'Cause it's yelling at me for fucking nothing.
Yeah. I would personally love to have an EV. They got their ups and downs, but we like ours. Yeah. Now that we've learned how to use it, we like it.
It just makes road trips much longer.
Yeah, definitely. Like if you're taking long road trips, you're adding a lot of time to your road trip. If you're in an EV, you can't just like swing into the gas station and fill up in 5 minutes. If you're running yourself down past 30%, you're going to be sitting there for 45 minutes to get back up to 95. And that's just the way it works. Yeah, you charge it at home. It does trickle charging at home because we don't have the like.
Yeah, we did the trickle charge after like our big road trip, and it took like 2 full days to charge back up.
It barely just creeps up, but it's perfect for just jetting around town.
Yeah, like you
keeps
plug it in
off
overnight, and that's fine if you're just doing like a normal commute or whatever. But
yeah,
if you run it down real low and plug it in, it's gonna take a hot minute.
It's a technology that eventually I think is going to be incorporated into freeways, and especially like urban areas. It's not going to be long before you have induction chargers underneath the freeway that are charging via induction as your car moves. So your car is basically drawing power from the grid through an induction plate that's built into the fucking road. It'll be through big cities at first for commuters and such, and then eventually there's going to be no point to not incorporate it on every major highway, at least the ones that are out in the boonies, and then your need to stop and charge is functionally eliminated because it'll go next induction plate in 35 miles, and you just keep going, and by the time you get there, maybe you've dumped 5% of your juice. It comes right back up as you're going the next 10 miles over another induction section, and there you go.
I don't know if there's enough for them to justify tearing up all the roads and repaving them.
Yeah. It does add time, but I kind of like it. I have to be honest with you, I kind of do too. It makes me stretch my legs. It makes us like chill out and slow down on the. I've my whole life I've treated every drive like it was a mad dash, like it was a mad scramble to get where I was going as fast as possible. It's like a game. Let me beat the clock. And like look, as long as you plan it out right, it's not. And you're in an area that has plenty of chargers, like California, the whole West Coast, probably a lot of Texas because Tesla's there.
Yeah. We just had to learn you gotta fucking sit and wait when you're at a good charger. You can't.
That
just
was
chase
one, yeah,
Chargers.
yeah. We the first time we needed to charge in a big city, we got fucked because we pulled up at a really busy charger. There was nothing available. I was like, fuck it, let's just go find a nearby charger. And we
We
would
hit
just
like 3.
yeah, we went to 3 different chargers all over San Francisco. One of them was just a busted down off-brand charger that was a nightmare. Just fucking
And then there was another busted
yeah,
one.
there was another busted one, and then like finally we just went to a Walmart. It was all full. I just parked nearby, waited for somebody to pull out, pulled in. We charged up in 40 minutes, and we're back on the road. And we're like,
And we felt stupid after.
yeah, we
like,
felt.
could've- if we
Well,
just
I
waited
felt stupid.
at the first one.
I was driving the stupidity. So let's be real. I felt stupid about that at the end of that. But you know what? The lesson was learned,
Yeah.
well and truly. If you pull up to one that's full, you just wait, because it's not like 45 minutes is the longest time if everybody just pulled in and just started.
And
Chances-
they're all super low.
Chances are,
Most people are going to be gone.
and
in
you
10
get
minutes.
charged. You get charged if you stay there past your charging time.
Yeah.
It starts charging you more money for like taking up a space that could be used by somebody else that needs it. So most EV owners at this point with the limited chargers are pretty self-conscious about being that guy and paying a hella extra money to park at a spot when all you got to do is go out and move your car real quick. So there's a lot less of like just leave your car on the charger and go shopping for 8 hours shit than you would expect. Especially if you're talking about like a supercharger, a Tesla supercharger, or our, you know,
Like a
this
level 3.
level 3 CCV charger.
But yeah, most people aren't trying to sit there longer than they have to.
Right, yeah. And there's a lot of camaraderie between EV owners who are on the road too. We've discovered that. Like we weren't able to help a guy. He had a Tesla and
He was trying to charge at a non-Tesla thing.
yeah,
I
I was
sorry,
like, bro, dude, yeah, that's gonna be slow, man. He has an adapter, but it takes a level 3 charger down to level 1, which is what we have in our garage. It's trickle.
Or, no, it was like a level 2, but it's still pretty
Still,
slow.
yeah, I mean, it adds hours. So, yeah. You know, and I just couldn't help him with anything. I said, you know, best bet would be to let it trickle for a while and then maybe find a Tesla charger somewhere, even if it's out of your way, and just get a full fucking tank and then go. Get to your next Tesla charger. But, yeah. Yeah, it starts to rack up pretty quick if you stay over, so. We drove from DC to Orlando, and it was actually so nice to get out and stretch and eat. Yeah, I mean, I tried to treat it like that. It's like, you know, get out, stretch your legs, let Dino out, let him piss.
Us piss.
Let us go and piss and, you know, like lounge around. Maybe if there's a little store, get a little snack.
Yeah. Because a lot of them were in, like, grocery
Yeah, so you can go in and get a sandwich or go in and get a bag of chips or a Frosty or whatever you want, you know. And that makes it nice to not treat it like it's a race to beat the clock, you know.
Like, we're planning a big drive, and what we'd normally try to shove in a day, we're going to actually break up into 2.
Yeah. Just by necessity, though, because
Yeah.
I got to tell you, doing that in one shot was doable.
It was barely.
It was doable, and adding the fucking extra time for the chargers is going to make it too brutal.
Yeah.
So we're aiming for a certain spot that we know we can make in a day. It's going to be a long first day and a long second day, but not 19 straight in a gas engine. So 19 would be easily 24
Probably
in the EV. Yeah, maybe.
Because we'd have to stop probably at least 6 times.
At least. but we're in the best part of the world for that.
Yeah.
So thankfully we're golden. We're covered on that. Most of our stops were at a Sheetz. Yeah, that's an East Coast South thing. I don't think we got Sheetz.
I noticed some shells.
Does Love's have chargers?
I don't think so.
They need to add chargers at Love's, bro. They need to add just like a giant bank of fucking EV chargers.
Truckers,
I know.
so
But other people, they have a big gas up place for road people too.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, man. But whatever. We got it figured out. Now we know how to do it, so it's not a nightmare. Some Loves do have chargers. Well, we'll have to look into it because I love a Loves.
Because we were mainly looking at one brand of chargers.
Well, that's one of the problems with it is that there's no like standardized charger now, so you've got to kind of like pick a brand. And the one here is Electrify America on the West Coast that isn't Tesla, that you're gonna find most often.
That are the most well maintained.
Mm-hmm. They're not bullshit. They don't have some fucking, you just get their app, you sign up for your shit, and then you drive. And they have tons of them, and they maintain them well. They're not broken usually.
They show how many your spots are filled in
real
time.
Yeah, their app will show you like how long you'll probably have to wait. And it's just a good. That's the company that's on the West Coast that we use when we gas up or charge up, I guess. But I like Loves, bro. Loves is a good, because you know what, dude? They keep, because they're catered to truckers, they understand that people that are on the road and you're doing a hard fucking 12-hour shift driving, when they pull in at a place to get a burger or to like buy some like little easy groceries or to take a shower, they want a clean, well-maintained, quiet, comfortable fucking environment to do it in. Mm-hmm. And that is Loves, bro.
I know, like we were driving during COVID when we were moving out.
When we traveled during COVID, when we moved out of Louisiana back to Cali.
They were on top of that shit. They were like every 30 minutes, full clean.
And even when we pulled into a Loves, because sometimes you'll pull into a Loves and they've got kind of a bullshit restaurant, because not every Loves has the same restaurant. Sometimes they'll have a Burger King. It just depends on who they sold the franchise to. We pulled into one with a Burger King, and I was like, oh no, man. I'm hungry, but dude, it was the best Burger King I'd had in fucking years, because they just do it different there. They don't want to like disappoint the truckers and have the truckers pick a different stop. So they enforce a standard there that just isn't going to be at your fucking local corner Burger King and shit. Yeah. GPS, like, syncs up and will tell you, like, how long you have to go. But what we usually just go by the app, honestly. Like, we plug it in. Like, every stop, we plug in our next stop. So the app will tell us, here's, the best, because we can plug it into our app for Electrify America. It'll tell us our whole route and where we need to stop. And then I just manually plug it in, usually. I'll just tell it, like, here's our next fucking charger, bloop, and we just go straight to it. And it always works. It's never been wrong. It takes into account, like, elevation. That's something you got to be careful with when you're driving through mountains. Like, you're going to burn a lot more juice going up, but you coast back down and you gain juice. So it calculates all that, which is nice. Dude, Bacon Baron, dude. Why are you slinging shit, bro?
Preheat in the oven to make some onion rings for some Western burgers.
Oh, shit. Some Western.
Talking about burgers.
Yeehaw. Dude, I was wondering something about those Boca burgers. Or not the Boca, but the Impossible burgers. If you heated them up, would it be possible to, like, cut them in half? And put them, and then like fry, like turn one of the thick patties into two thinner patties, and then do like a double cheeseburger thing where you got cheese patty.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it might be too frozen to fucking try to.
Well,
fuck with
once
it
you
like
warm
that.
it up, though, like you heat it up, you get it unthawed, and then you just take a sharp enough knife, right, and like turn it
So you
into
want me to
two.
like thaw it
No,
in the
I don't want
microwave?
you. I was just asking if you
Yeah.
think it would be even possible.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if we put it in the fridge to let it thaw first and then did it, but I don't know.
Oh, you would just to start it that way?
Yeah. 'Cause
Just-
you can
just-
thaw them in the fridge and then cook them. But
Yeah, that's
you
true.
could like half thaw them, I guess. Like leave them in the fridge for half a day so that you could.
I guess so. Yeah, shave them bitches. Bro, just order a smash burger. No, I haven't had meat in over a year, and I'm better for it in every way. So
There's something missing in the Impossible Burgers to make like a really, really good smash. Like I tried making smashes and they were just falling apart.
yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. They're working on it, man. Hey, when they come up with that printed meat shit,
Yeah.
I'll try that. I'll try a printed meat. Yeah, no, I stopped eating meat a while
There's
back.
like some magical thickness that you have to get that like some of the restaurants have figured out with it, but
Yeah.
you can't just copy a meat smash burger recipe and expect it to work.
Yeah.
So we just had the lazy frozen pre-made ones to fucking make it easy. I don't like getting frustrated by making burgers.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I want that 3D printed meat. Grow it in that lab, 3D print it. I'll try it, but if it has all the same problems as regular meat, fuck it. I'll just keep not eating meat.
I'm sorry that like that's one of the worst things for me that I get the most upset about is like messing up cooking, and that like prevents me from experimenting with it.
No, I mean, it just is what it is, baby. That's just how you are. You get very intense when you're cooking or doing a specific task and stuff. And I'm the same way. I get frustrated very easily. Oh.
They
You guys are watching the reason why you're never gonna catch me at a fucking music festival ever again. Dude, in my 20s, I used to love that shit, bro. I used to love those like long ass days where you just fucking wore yourself out and shit. But, dude, I'd be fucking dead if I tried to do that now. My back is just so fucked. Oof. I gotta enjoy your dustiness and your shagginess before you go and get your nice clean cut. I gotta do it. You gonna let me teddy it tonight. I'm getting a teddy. That's all there is to it. I'm gonna teddy it tonight.
and you got all weekend with them too.
Yep,
It's not till Tuesday.
yep. But tonight's the night. I'm teddying it. Just heads up.
What do you think? Tail down again, or do you want to let him actually get his flag back?
His flag is, I think it's, I don't know, it's probably fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not getting all tangly.
But everything else, all the way down.
All the way down ears too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to give him a good clean start and a nice comfortable autumn going into winter, and then we'll let him shag up for the winter.
This is like mid shag. I think like his max length is like 2 or 3 more inches than that.
At least. Yeah.
Well, technically, I don't even know if you've ever let him get to max.
I mean, he gets to a certain point where it's fucking almost untenable because he's so mixed. So he's got one breed that was designed to have this very designer hair, but that's
It's got
mixed
curl to
with
it.
curly, and so he's just got like a very strange coat that it becomes almost impossible to keep up out of his eyes and off of his face and out of his mouth. It's just, you know, so. As cute as he is when he's all fluffy, we found that the best thing to do is just get you a good full cut. Let you grow into some shag and then repeat.
Yep. Every 3 to 4 months.
Yep. I don't know. If you think he wanted to let her, like, just go easy on his ears and his face, just kind of like trim everything else back and let his beard go a little bit. Get it off the bridge of his nose, but like let his mustache and his goatee go for a while, you know?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, leave his face a little teddy bear.
Make sure his eyes, you know, trim
Yeah.
back away from his eyes and trim away some of that hair back there, but leave him a little teddy bear face.
Yeah.
We could try that and see how it works, see if we regret it.
Yeah. You just want to go in.
Yeah, dude, why is this, why are you talking about getting punched in the face, Julian? You know what that makes me want to do? Punch you in your fucking face. At 5.3K views last night. Nice. You're building it up. Yeah, Julian likes to bring his fucking recreational drinking into the chat. Julian is often in here drunk off his fucking ass, from what I can tell. Yeah. I knows me a sloppy drunk when I sees me a sloppy drunk. I'm going to go ahead and end this. I'll see you guys next time, yeah.